existence of the British Army. It was only the day before that the British government had decided reluctantly that troops would have to be used in Northern Ireland to hold the warring factions apart, assist the exhausted police force, prevent further loss of life, and protect property. Ministers were aware of the problems of committing the army to the streets of the province, but the alternative was civil war. In the eerie calm that now descended on the province, both politicians and soldiers knew that it was going to be easier to send the troops in than to get them out. Now the British government and its army were inextricably caught up in Northern Ireland and its future. The people of Belfast, particularly the Catholics, welcomed the army. They brought an end to the burnings and killings. But armies are not constabularies, and soldiers are not policemen, nor are they a substitute for cogent political policies. No one knew this better than the army.
Two, please, sir.
The honeymoon period cannot, I do not think, continue forever, obviously. We're perhaps at the peak now, where everybody's smiling and swapping cups of tea and all this sort of business and cracking jokes. But unless there is a solution or some hope for the future, and this is where the politicians have got to come in, the soldiers are not going to be welcomed on the streets for forever and ever.
The Home Secretary, James Callaghan, visited the troubled province on the 27th of August, 1969. For 45 years, British politicians had ignored Northern Ireland. It was the business of a Home Office department which also regulated London taxicabs and British summertime. No senior civil servant in Whitehall had worked full-time on Northern Ireland.
Well, you must have got thousands of pictures of us by now. And we're not as handsome as all that. If we were Richard Burton and Elizabeth Taylor, but come on.
In Derry's Bogside, Callaghan was greeted by enthusiastic crowds. John Hume, a moderate Catholic politician, also welcomed him.
On behalf of the people who are, in my view, the living symbols of injustice in Northern Ireland, I welcome you here because you will find in this area the worst housing and the highest unemployment and the heaviest immigration. And I hope you're bringing the solution with you.
Sir, this is Mr. Cooper too.
I'm very glad to come. Very glad indeed to be here and to see everybody, and I want to be able to see everybody.
Please hold back.
Already the British government had announced that the B specials would be phased out, and Callaghan's civil servants were reviewing discrimination in housing and jobs. Caught in the crowd, he was forced to address the Bogsiders from an upstairs window.
I was told yesterday that I was welcome because I am neutral. I replied, I am not neutral. I am on the side of those, whoever they may be, and in whatever community they live, who are deprived of justice and of freedom.
In Belfast, the army would soon be confronted with the complexity of Ulster street politics. In the August fighting, both Protestants and Catholics had protected their districts by building barricades. The politicians ordered the army to pull them down and erect an official barrier, a peace line to keep the two communities apart. Both sides were suspicious, but they reluctantly agreed. Leader of the Protestant Shankill Defence Association, John McCaig.
The idea is here, take this barricade down now, and we'll conform with the government's plan that we give them time to get their plans implemented into the other side. Now, if they don't take action into the Bogside and into the Falls Road area of Belfast, this and the Short Strand, these barricades will go up higher on Monday morning.
Meanwhile, across the city, the army was having difficulty in Dover Street, one half of which was Catholic, the other Protestant.
We've had a hold-up for some reason. They're just saying about it now.
Hey, he wants up.
Yes. Who's saying hold?
General Freeland saw for himself the subtleties of the sectarian geography of Belfast.
What's it, materials
No,
or exactly where to put it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's their own place, yes.
Can I speak? Can I speak? Can I speak?
Of course you can, everybody.
Well, we live in Beverly Street.
Oh, yeah.
This is Beverly Street down here. What's they putting a barrier here for?
And that's street land either.
And us land, yes.
Yeah, should be down
I
the
think
street.
we better leave it to whoever's arranging it.
Yeah, well, the way to see about it.
There's a way to city hall to see about it.
Oh, have they? They've gone now, have they? Oh, yeah. That's
Me,
good.
come.
We want to try and get everybody to agree where to put it.
Yes, but this was arranged in the City Hall, sir, where the barrier was going.
Was it?
Between the councillors.
Well, they're the people who've got to say where to put it, because we don't know.
Yes,
you see,
they have already said where to put it. And that is the wrong place.
I see.
And I have tried to tell them
I
all
see.
morning.
I see. Well, they probably don't quite know. We'll sort it out.
Main reason being for the barricades to be negotiated were that some of them are facing sniper's fire. And the one down there, and this one at the very top are the ones that were facing the sniper's fire. And they were to be negotiated to be put, not necessarily to be taken down. Well, we didn't get that privilege of even speaking to you.
Somebody has decided they can come down. Not up to me. I'm here to see it goes down fairly and squarely, okay, without trouble.
Only if the army was seen to be fair in a climate of political progress would it continue to be regarded as impartial. However, no major political initiative was taken. The use of the B Specials, the Protestant Police Reserve, had inflamed the rioting of the summer. Now they were obliged to surrender the arms they'd kept at home to a central armory. This worried Protestants, who regarded the B Specials as their protectors against militant Republicans. Paisley voiced Protestant fears.
The government will find that they will not be able to jackboot the Protestants any longer into the ground. I'm warning them that if they continue this policy of selling out Protestants and of trampling on Protestants and denying Protestants their rights, there's going to be an affair in Ulster that all the restraining voice that I might raise will no longer be heeded to.
On the day after a government report had recommended the abolition of the B Specials, Protestants rioted in the Shankill Road and confronted the army. That night, snipers opened fire, and the army returned it.
The rules are extremely clear, and every soldier knows this, too, that if a person is shooting at us and our lives are in danger, and we can identify the person who's actually shooting at us, then we may return that fire with one round, and we shoot to kill.
Three men, 2 civilians and a police constable, were shot dead. 66 people were injured. The following night, the army drove into the Shankill Road and searched the area for arms. Hostile Protestant crowds shouted, "Englishmen